Hi everyone, I'm Ken, the inventor of the CTKS method that shows where smart money is buying and selling. Each day I seek to give you an edge in the market using professional smart money rules and thinking based on my more than 30 years experience in financial markets, to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth and positive excellence in the process. If you want to get the institutional edge, please subscribe. You'll find we have one of the best communities on YouTube. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently down 1.11% to 23,882. Ethereum is up 0.39% to 1648. In yesterday's episode, the market was pretty red. Therefore, we were looking to Borsog to identify profitable crypto trading opportunities. What is Borsog? Borsog is Rule 621, buy on red, sell on green. And there's the Borsog eagle screeching in the background to say, buy on red, sell on green. But you don't just buy on every red and sell on every green. There's a little bit more to it. The question is, how do you Borsog effectively? You'll need all the knowledge inside the masterclass, and also LV21, Borsog Secrets. We looked at a lot of different cryptos in the last episode. Stacks was one of them, STX. STX was an inverter. It was going the opposite way, and we can see that in the chart. We can see that Stacks has been going up while Bitcoin has been coming down. So that immediately caught our attention as it was a pretty red day. Stacks popped onto the radar around this particular zone. When I saw Stacks' behavior here, I said I'm waiting for a pullback, and I actually entered the market at this particular level, not down further. I'm not greedy. It's really important that you don't be stingy in the market. Don't try to pick the exact bottom and pick the exact top. Don't do that. You'll often get shaken out of trades, and you'll push yourself to the wrong side of the equation, to the wrong side of profitability. Then I looked at where resistance was in terms of the market, and it's very important that you put your mind into a retail mindset. We talk about smart money concepts inside the community and of course inside the masterclass, but you must read the retail mindset. You've got to be always thinking about what other people could be doing, and don't worry about getting the exact bottom and getting the exact top. It's just unimportant. When it comes to Borsog, buy on red, sell on green, I always say start small and scale. Do not go all in and more. You don't want to do that because you'll soon be all out of the market if you do. You can see here I bought it for $72.38. This is the buy on red. Don't forget the price was up here, and I was saying, okay, if it just flips up from here and I miss it, I'm cool with that. And that's how you've got to be too. And I just sought to get a reasonable level. I was hoping for a bit of a long spike, but again, I didn't want to be greedy because it was a really negative day. Sometimes you've got to move in alignment with the market. But what did this all turn out to be? What we always do inside our community is that we show our trades. You can see this $99 in here and the 115 in there. That was a 15.79% return over 6 hours 45 minutes. And what I really like to do is to check the annualized return. If it's a really big number, well, you're on the right side of the percentage. Many retail investors and traders could look at a movement between here and up here and say, oh, it's just not enough for me. But it really is. You consider the percentages that you can actually turn, and you can do this consistently. It's pretty good. And remember, all of these returns were generated in a market where people were fleeing from the market. But we don't flee, we Borsog. We love red markets, and we go long at spot, so we're not shorting either. We also looked at LDO yesterday, and LDO had a pretty interesting pattern. We became aware of LDO just around this particular point, and we said, well, I said, this looks quite interesting. It was coming down at the time, so I placed buy orders down, and I actually multi-layered LDO as well. And as we see it going forward, let's just get the price action to play out and we'll see where it ends up. And then I'll overlay what trades I actually did. One thing that you want to do inside crypto is just be aware it's an incredibly volatile market, and that's a really good thing. You want it to be volatile. LDO was quite interesting to me, and applying the Borsog LV21 techniques, what I did, I started to scale in. I didn't buy at market. I was a maker, not a taker. And what I actually did, I placed the first buy order hoping for a little bit of volatility, but I'm cool if I miss it, and that's how you need to be as well. I picked up one buy order at this 2816 level, and then I saw it was behaving quite well, so I thought, okay, I'm going to layer in again. Then I set a 50% sell. That's why I'm actually, when you look at the sell, it's 176.97. So it's a little bit more than these two because it's the average of both of them. And I set that sell order up here at 3175 and it actually hit that. But with the Borsog techniques, I believed it could and I believed it would. I created this example specifically to show you that you can layer in and you don't have to sell everything. You can sell in layers out as well. How did we go in terms of price momentum? We put the buy order in, this 517 cents, and the 561.88 is from there. We can see that we made about 12.33 or 12.34%. But again, the one thing I like to do is look at the annualized percent. That gives me a much better comprehension if it's a good trade or not. This one took a little bit more time than the stacks one. It took 15 hours and 30 minutes, but it's a little bit better than bank interest. One thing that I hope you take away from this particular video, it doesn't matter how red the market is, there are always opportunities. And that's why applying Rule 621 is so important. We talk about Borsog in our creed, but a lot of people don't know what it is. Borsog is buy on red, sell on green, Rule 621. The Masterclass is literally jam-packed with rules, and those rules are designed to make you money and to save you money. But at the end of the day, it's your knowledge that actually protects you and your emotional control. We're going to go through the CTKS process. Having your foundations in play is really, really important. And that's what I'm seeking to reinforce each and every video. Then we look outside the crypto market to the major markets. We need to gain some sort of comprehension as to where they may be going. And it's always a may, not a guaranteed. We're not looking for certainty, we're looking to stack probabilities. And then we come back into the crypto market, finding the market's focus. And you can see opportunities do reset every single day. If you have the enhanced pattern recognition skill, it's very important to master emotional control before you buy or sell, or else you'll just be pushed around by the market. The market is a bit of a bully, and we say no to bullies. We can see in the main markets that the VIX, the fear gauge of the market, came down, and that actually put positive pressure on market momentum. We also saw that junk bonds and high yield corporate bonds staged a bit of a bounce. This is very, very positive. Generally, when fear goes up, these junk bonds and high yield bonds come down. And we also see the yields came down and bonds started to seek if they can actually break this resistance. They're still under resistance. Oil continues to come down, the dollar continues to strengthen, and gold continues to weaken. Masterclass students, please have a look at LV28. Use the LV28 chart each and every day. Look at how the junk bonds and the high yield corporate bonds are actually performing, and keep your eye on the inverse VIX and the inverse of credit risk. As a professional inside the markets, you have to keep a very, very positive outlook because your mind will dictate your results. If your mind is scared, your money will be scared as well, and you have a much higher probability of losing scared money. We know Rule 28, opportunities reset daily. They're always there. Looking at the greatest gainers within the past 24 hours, Stacks number 1 up a little over 11%, followed by Engine, Conflux, Bone, Op, Synthetics, Fracshare, Link and Gate Token. Leading the back of the pack of the greatest losers are Tezos, Neo, Monero, Anchor, 1inch, Phantom, Dash, AVAX, and Casper the Friendly Ghost. After the FOMC meeting minutes, we can see that Bitcoin has been holding up quite well. It's not even dipped into this smart money buy level between 23,142 and 23,226. Bitcoin is nearly 24,000 right now. It's 23,966. You can see literally Bitcoin has been consolidating in this range for about 8 days. If it gets above this short-term resistance, it could be very, very powerful because we've got a lot of positive air through here. It means the buyers are still very, very keen. Is there any other proof of increasing market momentum? Yes, there is. If you look at the Bitcoin longs, they're continuing to increase their positions. The shorts went for it, but they got liquidated, and that caused that upward price surge. Of course, the longs and the shorts are always liquidating each other, so we observe these big spikes up and big spikes down. We can see the shorts are not so sure about what's happening inside the crypto market at the moment. When we look at the liquidations over the past 24 hours, we can see 97.2 million across 29,000 even traders. Wow. And when we look at the total liquidations across the past 24 hours, about 60% long. What about the past 12 hours? About 57% long. The past 4 hours, let's say 67% long. And the past hour, 88% short. Just when the shorts thought it was okay to go back into the water, dun 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 dun, jaws struck. And this is always the case. You'll find it always playing out inside financial markets. Anytime people feel absolutely certain that things are going to be okay, you can be pretty assured the market is going to go in the exact opposite direction. That's why we don't care. We're just borsogging all over the place. Let's get through our quick market scan. The first thing you want to note is the price momentum, direction and magnitude of the ups and downs inside Bitcoin. Now we need to overlay Bitcoin's gravity on the specific alts. Of course, we've got Tether, Circle and Binance USD. So they're stable coins. We're not too concerned about them at the moment, but you can see stable coins are not stable. They never have been. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is starting to show strength relative to Bitcoin. What about Binance Coin, BNB? Well, it's showing a little bit of strength, but it's pretty much moving in directional alignment. Looking at XRP, we can see XRP showing strength relative to Bitcoin. What about ADA? ADA's a little bit down and out at the moment, but a lot of interesting things happening in ADA. Why are we not looking at Tether, Circle and BUSD? Because they're stable coins. But you can see they're not quite so stable after all, are they? Let's turn to the next group of 8. We can see Matic, a little bit weaker. You can compare and contrast this to Ethereum. Ethereum is on top. Matic is below at the moment. And Doge is pretty much pinging Bitcoin's gravity. Solana is a little bit stronger. That actually looks interesting. Solana, if we see a turnaround in Bitcoin, I believe Solana could break out from here. It's a little bit either way at the moment because there's quite a bit of resistance above, but if it gets above it, Solana is known to just really go for it. DOT is actually looking quite good. It's showing some strength relative to Bitcoin. And it's getting to a point where it's making higher lows as well. This is really good. And it's not wobbling around as much as Solana. These are all the things that you want to be looking for. What about SHIB? SHIB is looking quite good. It's showing a degree of strength, but it's still under resistance. That's why we always buy in layers and levels down. What about Litecoin? Litecoin is actually looking very, very intriguing. It's overcome this very short-term resistance. It's on the other side of that. In fact, Litecoin is something that you would want to put on your radar. When looking at AVAX, AVAX has a different kind of structure. It's very much under resistance. That doesn't mean it can't stage a comeback, but relative to other opportunities, Litecoin is very much better than AVAX, just at the current time. And things can turn around very, very quickly in the crypto space. We can see that Tron usually does well at times like this. Justin really likes to make Tron shine in the dark. But so far, it's just a little bit dim. It's not been turned on just yet. Let's have a look at the next 8. We can see Uni, some really interesting things happening with Uni. We've seen an overcoming of this very small short-term resistance. We're in a little bit of an uptrend, and it's looking like it's seeking to challenge this upward resistance, and actually doing so. Uni could be another one to put on your radar. What about Atom? Atom is also looking pretty good. We're seeing signs of life in the crypto market, and we're still in the red market, but hey, this is where all the fun is. You're on the right side of the percentage here. We can see a lot of relative strength in Link. You can see, for example, when you look at Uni and look at Atom and then contrast it to Link, you can see this particular price action is so much higher than Atom, and it's so much higher than Uni as well. This particular peak is up around this area, which would mean that Uni to have the same strength would need to be up around this area, and Atom to have the same strength should be up around that area. You can see that's not the case. Link is showing relative strength. You want to see this, and look at that divergence there. Link is showing power, another one for the radar. Filecoin is looking pretty much just under resistance at the current time. It's not exhibiting any of these signs of strength, but this can turn around rather quickly. LDO stage a little bit of a rebound. Good on you, LDO, and near still under resistance. What about Aptos? APT. It overcame that short-term level of resistance, but hasn't really managed to overcome this one at the current time. But it is making a higher low. Aptos is known for being explosive, but we'll have to see a consistent breakout on Bitcoin as well. That's why we look at Bitcoin's gravity. It's really, really important. What about HBAR? HBAR, look at this relative weakness underneath. When we look at something like Link with relative strength here and here, you can see these 2 points. And then when we look at HBAR, that same relative strength is not there. Also, we've got a very clear level of resistance across this and a very unclear level of resistance from here down to here. Masterclass students use the EC method on these charts. The markets are very philosophical by nature, and the market penalizes inner volatility and rewards inner harmony. This is why you have to live with positive excellence if you want to be profitable inside markets. Many people think, especially retail traders and investors think, no, I just need my buy and sell level and everything will be fine. Don't forget, you've got to manage those buy and sell levels as well. That actually comes down to you and your emotional control. You don't want to have inner volatility. How do you know if you have inner volatility? Generally, you'll have outer volatility as well. Get rid of both. You'll be much, much more profitable. Yesterday, I asked the question, between Clay and Stacks, what do you see in the behavior of Clay? What do you see in the behavior of Stacks? What I saw was that Clay was coming down trying to break down a level of support, and it actually broke through that level. I also saw that Stacks was looking reasonably good. It's starting to curl over now, but that's actually still inside a channel of support. All the way down to here, it would be maintained in terms of a channel. And if you're looking at this and you don't understand support and resistance, please let me know in the comments. I can dive more deeply into it in upcoming videos. I'd just like to give you a little bit more understanding of what I mean with Clay. Clay was seeking to test this particular support, but not doing too well. It was looking weak, in my opinion. That's why I wanted you to look at Clay, to actually do an active learning exercise. And we can see that Clay did in fact make its way down through that support, but it hasn't come down like this. Clay is very, very spiky, and it's quite overextended at the moment. If you're trading it, I would suggest you use 10-5-10 levels. I actually did a video on the CryptoTradingKS buymeacoffee.com channel. The link is in the description. I'm actually going to make that one public so you don't have to buy me a coffee at all to see it. I'll just make it public so anybody can see it. I'd also like to say a very big thank you for the generosity from our community. It's really touching. Thank you, Sinman, the goat that keeps on giving. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much to Steve as well. Thank you, Ken, for your ongoing commitment to the community. Thank you so much, Brett, as well. Thank you, Ken and Kate, so much for all your love, support, good advice, technical training, mentorship, and friendship. You guys are changing the world one life at a time. Wow, Brett, that's really beautiful. Thank you. Also, thank you to Crypto Turtle for your very kind generosity. Thank you, Master Ken and Kate. Without the CTKS method and your positive excellence, I would not be a profitable trader. Your method teaches me to be patient. Rule 621, buy on red, sell on green. Wow, really good timing, Crypto Turtle, we're talking about it. And Rule 4, price moves in waves, are my two best rules. Borsog trading means in and out. People who want to trade and invest must learn the CTKS method, parts 1 and 2, or better, go to the Masterclass. The best trading course ever. Oh, thank you, Crypto Turtle. And thank you also to Howie. One thing that I do inside the coffee club is I go through specific rules. For example, Rule 916, Rule 837, Rule 154, Rule 673, Rule 109. Well, that's a good one. Enhancing pattern recognition is really good. Rule 919, Rule 303, Rule 65, Rule 471, Rule 829, Rule 40, Rule 305, Rule 402, Rule 420, and Rule 18. And this is the one that I've just made public so that you can have a look at what actually the 10-5-10 rule is all about. I used to put up a new rule once per month, but the community on Buy Me a Coffee were just reaching out to me saying, Ken, you really need to chill out. You're working 7 days a week, not ever taking a day off. Please, as our show of love to you, please just do them when you feel like it. I thought this would be really good to discuss inner and outer volatility and how to move from volatility to harmony. This is a really critical thing to do if you want to be profitable inside financial markets. It is not optional. A lot of people think that they can be volatile, both inner and outer, and be very profitable in the market. It's just really not the case. The markets will penalize you dramatically. And if you're doing well, imagine how well you could really be doing if you had harmony. The question to the community, our beloved global family, is how do you turn away from volatility and towards harmony? What are the steps that you could take? There are so many steps that people can take to move from volatility towards harmony, and it is a continuous journey. Anything that you can share will actually help another person, and that's what our community is all about. I'm very much looking forward to seeing your comments. Embracing positive excellence is a very, very powerful thing to do, and it's powerful for your profitability, and it's also powerful for your happiness and meaning. Literally, the world gets better when we do. We know that better habits create a better life. That's why we have the CTKS Creed, because we need to keep our mindset really, really positive. A positive mindset will propel you forward, and a negative mindset will just keep you stuck. The focus of today's video, I start small and scale with Borsog. This part of the CTKS Creed is incredibly important. You don't need to use any other amounts that other people use. You can trade for as little as $10. On some platforms you can trade even less than that. What you're trying to do is to actually understand and get into synchronization with the market. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and we look forward to catching up with you tomorrow. Take care and bye for now.